Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Musalima's reflection. I was having a conversation with someone, and I felt like I wanted to just give my thoughts in this manner. I mean, we did have a conversation and I spoke. Um, so there's always seems to be backlash in regards to the single parent. People walk around acting like you choose to be a single parent or something. Like you just woke up and like, you know what, when I grow up, I want to be a single parent, you know? Um, and a lot of it, the backlash is on the women saying that, oh, you should have chose a better spouse. You could have done this. You should have done that. Um, and not so much on the men that are absent fathers, you know, or even there are even some single parent men out there, some men that are single parents as well. So, but we hear a lot of the backlash, and you know, always for the women, it's always women, 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 and it's always, well, a woman cannot teach a man how to be a man, you know, that kind of thing. And it's like, you know, um, I I agree to disagree in a certain aspect of that part of that statement. You know, like somebody told me, you know, I'm raising two boys by myself. Well, not by myself because I have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I have the best helper, the best protector, the best provider, the best guider. Um, but physically in humanistic form, I am raising my children, you know, as a single parent. I have two boys, and the guy wanted to tell me that there's I'm missing out. I need to go and rush to find a new husband. Let me tell you something. I've been married twice, and it didn't work out. And I'm not going to sit here and put the blame on the man because you know, or anything like that. I'm not going to, it just didn't work out. It was two people that just wasn't meant to be together. You know, that was the Qadr of Allah. I don't I don't hate or blame or have any animosity towards any of that situation, any of those two situations. However, it led me to be a divorced woman who was a single parent to two boys. So I had tried to explain to the person, and he just kept saying, you know, no, you're not right. Your boys are missing out. What are my children missing out on? What are my boys missing out on? And that's what I want to know. He couldn't. I'm like, I'm on my Deen. My boys watch me pray. They pray with me. We read the Quran. They're learning Arabic. I'm learning Arabic. We can read Arabic. We can write Arabic. We're following the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We're following Allah subhanahu wa taala commands in the best way that we can. So what are my children missing out on? A physical body that's a man. I know how to play football, I know how to play basketball. I teach my kids how to box. I mean, what are they missing out on? I know how to shoot a gun, so when it comes time my kids are old enough, we're going to learn how to do that too. So what are we missing? What are they missing besides the physical figure who choose not to be there by their choice? You know, I'm not, again, I don't never bash my children's father, my two ex-husbands. I don't bash them. For what? Why do I need to give that type of energy? But what upsets me is we're always blaming the woman. You need to choose better. So how do I know that I did? How do you think that I just purposely just said I'm gonna choose a man, or even any woman, or even the men who are single parents? Oh, I'm just gonna pick this particular person, and I feel like because they're going to not be there eventually, we're going to have a situation and we're going to break up or we're going to divorce, and they're not going to be good parents. So I'm going to pick them because I want to be a single parent. Make that make sense to me. I am so sick and tired of people blaming the parent that stays, the parent that's around, the parents that is working hard, blood, sweat, and tears to make sure their children are provided for, not just financially, but emotionally, spiritually, most importantly, mentally okay and stable and happy and have peace in their home. You would rather for a person to stay in a situation or just to say they have another parent and the child will grow up emotionally unstable, emotionally affected because of the things that happen between parents. That I'm going to stay because you're the child's father. No, or I'm going to stay with you because you're the child's mother. But yet our relationship is toxic. That's not okay. in no shape, form, or circumstances. So don't sit up here and tell me as a woman that I can't raise a man, because women are the teachers of the household. I can raise my children, and I'm raising my children by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just fine. As long as I follow my deen, and I teach them to follow the deen, and teach them not in a forceful manner, because the problem becomes when you teach your kids forcefully, they tend to go away from it as they get older. So my thing is to have them love, to understand the taqwa, the fear of Allah, but understand and love Allah, and understand that everything that happens is by the grace of Allah, whether it's good or bad. If I'm on my deen and I'm teaching my kids Islam and having them grow up in an Islamic environment, then there's no shape and form or fashion why I can't teach my boys to be a man, because for one, they have the best example, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if they learn about him, they are taught about him, they have a positive role model in their life. He may not be physically here, but he's a positive role model, the best role model that they can have as a male figure. If I could teach my children to respect themselves, how to treat women, how to respect people in general, how to respect the woman, and what to expect from a woman, then I'm doing what's needed. That I am teaching my boys how to be men, because they're going to grow up with respect for themselves, with respect for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, most importantly. Respect for themselves, respect for a woman, and the sacrifices that women make, and understanding how to treat a woman, how they should be treated as a man. So they're going to grow up just fine, because I teach. And as a woman, we are teachers. Men are teachers as well, if you choose to be, but it's a different type of teaching. And also get the nourishment. So I'm sick and tired of hearing all this drama and this gossip about blaming the woman because she's a single mother now, and her kids' life are just all messed up. No, not at all. Not at all, in the least bit. Because my kids know what now my kids come home to a clean house, a home cooked meal, a working mother, and they come home to a clean house, a home cooked meal. They come home to love, nurturing. I still spend time with my kids. We study together. I read books to my younger son, who's not of age to have much of an understanding as regards to Islam, but I teach him in the way that he's able to understand. We have children's books in regards to Allah and following our faith. There are ways that our children can still be brought up and taught as a single parent to love your deen, to love your life, to be appreciative, to have respect, to have kindness, to be genuine in who you are. Not having another parent in their life is not going to make or break that. Everything happens by the Qadr of Allah. And to sit up here and blame someone for what Allah decrees is insanity to me. It's pure insanity to me. I feel as though, we need to wake up and get it together. Instead of always bashing the women, help the women. Help them. Oh, you need to, no, that's not the way that we need to be going about it. You know what, sister, I see that you're out here doing your best. You're doing what you can do as a single mother. Brother, I see you out here as a single father. You're doing your best. Get your children involved in the Islamic community where they can have those male role models and those female sisters for those who are parents to females, fathers who are single parents as well, who have daughters that you are taking care of, because they're out there too. But we hear less about the single father, that he should have made better choices, but more about the mom's choices. Nobody chooses to just have a baby and just raise a baby on their own. But I've learned to accept the Qadr of Allah. And that's what he decreed for me at this time in the moment. And I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that, because I know what it feels like to be happy with myself, to love myself genuinely, and portray that and onto my children, to love themselves and to be happy genuinely, that you don't necessarily need a physical body for you to be happy, because if you don't know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you don't know yourself. If you don't know how much mercy and favor that he bestows upon your life, and how much he genuinely truly loves his creation, then you don't know yourself. And in order to truly be happy with someone else, you have to be happy with yourself. In order to be truly happy with yourself, you have to understand the one who created you. You know, people are not always going to be together forever. And I do not condone toxic relationships, whether it's femininity or toxic masculinity. It does not necessarily make any difference to me. At the end of the day, you have to do what's best for your mental, for your stability. And if that means being a single parent is what's best for you in that moment, then that's what's best for you. And I'm going to say this to the women, to the sisters, and whoever. Don't be so angry, and brothers too, don't be so angry and bitter at the other person that you prevent them from trying to be a part of your child's life. Just because it didn't work out with you, if they're willing to try to make an effort to be a parent, whether it's the mom or the dad that's absent, allow them to be that person. However, your job is to protect your children. You have been appointed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because a child is a blessing, to be that protector for that child. And if you feel as though the person, the absentee parent, is going to do more harm than good, then you know what's best for your household, for your children, for the situation that you're in. Nobody can judge your situation. You know, it's funny how we can always give advice to people who are not inside of the situation, but the moment you're in it, you do the opposite of what the advice that you give. Let's help each other grow and progress. Our children are our future. Let's raise them in Deen. Let's give them the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Let's teach them about the great companions, the Sahaba, the Sahabi, radiyallahu anhu, radiyallahu anha. That's what we should be doing. Let them know the truth about this dunya. This dunya is a trial. This dunya is a test. And prepare them for that spiritually, mentally, emotionally, so that when they get older, they're able to handle the trials that will face their lives. And and I'm going to tell you something, a mother's dua never goes unanswered. Know that. A mother's dua never goes unanswered. So continue to make dua for your child, for your children, if you have more than one, that they will stay on the straight path. That even in their trials and tribulations, when they are tested as they get older, that they will utilize the tools that you are providing for them. Don't fall off your Deen. If anything, it should make you go harder in the Deen, because you know what's true, you know what's right, and you want to make sure that your children are prepared, because we don't know how long we have. I tell my boys all the time, mommy's job is to do her best she can to raise you, and I hope that Allah is pleased with me. And I don't want to pass until I know that I've instilled Islam in the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordains it to be into you, the love and the fear of the wrath of Allah into you. But I want you to grow up loving Islam, not feeling like you were forced to be a part of Islam, but to love it on your own. My kids look forward to going to the masjid. Alhamdulillah, I'm grateful that they love it, instead of feeling like they're forced because of fear, as I've met some people who grew up that way. But please, people, stop bashing the single parents, because they're doing their best. They're doing two roles, and it's by the Qadr of Allah. There's a reason why they're a single parent. And for those who are feeling bad or feeling like you're not doing enough, you're enough. You're enough because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told you that you are enough. Love yourself and portray that love to your children. Give them the things that you did not have growing up, and everything will be fine. As long as you stay on a straight path and you continue to make your salah, you continue to do what you need to do as far as being a Muslim and as far as being a believer, everything's going to work out. Everything's going to work out, inshallah.